Hello everybody, welcome to OBF1 round 13. We're here at the Hungary for tier 2 tonight. I'm on my own. Marcus has ditched me and left me all on my own on my birthday. But enough of the sob story. It's all about these two tier 2 drivers tonight. We're just waiting for Flames Assassin. He's in. So we can ready up really. Nice start. Get on time. We're getting good at this. We're on time again. Fantastic. Hello comments, top comments, newest comments. Save. Perfecto. Perfecto. Everyone's in, so I can mark that off as in. So let's get this stream underway. Not a clue if you can hear me or not. I'm gonna assume you can. Let me just share the link in the Discord, and then I can focus on the qualifying for you guys. Commentator streams. There we go. We are live. Very much live. I just clicked enter. I didn't want to click that. Oh my god. Top chat. Live chat. So we are underway now for qualifying at Hungary. Only 11 drivers today, so a little bit disappointing, but we can still have a good race. Who knows? Let's get rid of that and that. So yeah, we can still have a good race, waiting for the drivers to go out. While we wait for the drivers to go out, is there a way of popping out the chat? There is. Right, so what I want to look at is this, right? So live chat. So we got James Ney, I believe, is the second one out. We got King James, who has spun on his outlap. That is unfortunate. It happens to the best of us, don't worry. So, thank you, CDM, for saying a happy birthday in the chat. Am I unmuted? I am unmuted, okay. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes, CDM. Appreciate you, honey. JK, that was so gay. Yeah, James Ney is on his outlap. He will be the first one to set a lap due to King James's spin. He would have been the first one otherwise. James Ney currently... cheers, mate.
Happy birthday, Siren. Happy birthday,
no.
mate.
Nobody, please do not say my name in the comments. PlayStation cannot read my name properly. Thank you, Expert Gamer. I'm not sure of... I think... that's Flames. I'm not sure. Could be wrong. But James Ney leading the championship as he is about to start his first flying lap of the evening. It's going to be interesting to see if he can keep his lead. He's going to keep his lead tonight regardless of where he finishes. But interesting to note, Ken won the last 2 races, currently catching up.
Happy birthday, mate.
Cheers, Chuck, bruv. Is it brothers? Thank you. It's not about my birthday though, it's all about the racing tonight. As we got James Ney on his first lap. I'm not going to ride on board because the audio is...
Had anything nice?
Money. That's about it, mate. I'm not gonna lie. Just a nice line through through there from James Nay. This corner very difficult to get right. If you can beat yourself on the curb now in this game, since you can beat yourself. I haven't beat myself on the grass. Second the gravel once at Bahrain. But back to the action. James Nay looking like a nice safe banker lap this. Obviously, it's going to be a high downforce setup for most of these drivers. I would be surprised if anyone is running a medium kind of downforce setup for that straight, because there's not many of them, and you've got that long one. You know what I mean? James Nay with a 117.3. We got King James in the background, going to be setting a 117.2. With Kenna setting a 116.683. Kenna still trying to run himself into tier 1. If he carries on like this, he will be doing so. We've got Jay Seddon, who is
Happy birthday, brother. Hope you had a good birthday.
Thank you, David. It's been alright. It hasn't been too bad, you know. We got Mosh 7 dives into the pit. So did he spin and get wing damage? I'm not really too sure. But we got Mosh. Next one to set a time. Where's he going to put this Red Bull as he comes around the final corner, flat to the floor. DRS wide open. Crosses the line with a 118. He puts himself in P5. Always grinding, then puts himself in P5, and then we got Jensen Reno putting himself in P6. Not quick enough to beat. Always grinding, not having the best of races last month of France. He's going to be one. He's going to hopefully he's going to have a better race this weekend. As we've got James Nay, who's probably coming into the pits. Same with always grinding. Oh, there's a Snitsy. That Snitsy has spun it. Where is that? Just coming just before the sector 3 mark. I don't know if he was on a fast lap or not, but he will now not be. Mohammed Guna reserving again tonight. He's 2 races in a row. Everything okay? Let's have a look at what am I doing? Tier 2. Did Mohammed spin or make a mistake there? As I was trying to get up the Austria France. Yeah, so last time out Kenna won, James Nay was second, Jay Sen third. Sen had a fantastic race last time out, starting 10th on the grid, finishing in third. So can he do the same today? He's gonna hope that he qualifies higher up though. Mohammed's lap is going to be a slow one. He's not on a quali ban tonight, so he can set a lap. Obviously, he was on a quali ban last time out. We've got a car on track that would be setting on his out lap. So, obviously, we had some penalties given out and stuff last time out. I can quickly tell you them while Seddon is doing his out lap, and there's no one else on track. Incident outcomes. So we had 6 incidents. CDM truck fireman was an NFA. There was an overtake off track. CDM Gentorino, again NFA. Both cut a more to avoid that incident. CDM tried to get a 3-second time penalty removed without race director proof. We couldn't do it. Invader and King James, 5-second penalty for King James for causing Invader to spin. Obviously, that one was an unfortunate incident, and we could tell it wasn't intentional. But more could have been done to avoid that. King James reporting team red for weaving. We noted it and advised not to do it as aggressively. Genserino CDM, that was another 3-second time penalty and 2 penalty points to CDM. So let's get the chat back up. And let's get the standings back up. As we do have Seddon back on a lap. Stand-ins, please. Thank you. So, Seddon is currently... This is a difficult corner to get right. Seddon set a purple sector 1, though. So he does manage to do it without breaking track limits. almost gets himself beached on that curb. These curbs are ridiculously high. They really need to get rid of them curbs in the next game, hopefully, because they're ridiculous. Especially with these new regulations, you could just look how low the car is to the floor and you've got that curb sticking up. So another purple sector for Sen as he comes around this hairpin. Low grip around this hairpin, and he manages it very well. Now he's just got the final corner to go. There we go, he doesn't run it wide, very easy to do. And so 116, it is not good enough for P1, but it's very close. Nearly 3/10 in it. No, just under 3/10, sorry. Who else have we got on a lap? Someone that hasn't set a lap yet. Let's go for Flames Assassin, as he is coming into the last sector now with a 54 seconds is his lap time at the minute. Coming into sector 3 round the hairpin. But there's two. It's not really a hairpin. It's not sharp enough. Hairpins are tight, and you want to drift around them. That's a 116.6 as pole position for Flames Assassin. Kenna coming around the final corner. Can he beat that? He is 2/10 up currently, and he does. So 116.3. Kenna puts that Haas back on pole position. We've got Sen as well. Is he going to be going for another lap, or is he going to go into the pits? I think he might opt for the pits here. Let's go with Snitsy. Oh, he's on an out lap. We'll go back with Snitsy after. So all this grinding's messed up his lap somewhere, because he's on a minute 13 now. So he's gonna be restarting his lap now. ERS off, foot flat to the floor. Jen Serena with a purple sector 2, 2/10 up only though on his previous best time. He's going to be looking to improve somewhere as well. Jen Serena currently, where is he? Sitting third in the championship. And he's going to put his Alfa Romeo in P5. Not exactly the kind of lap he wanted to pull together, but it is a decent lap. Flames Assassin diving into the pits. James Ney diving into the pits as well. Snitsy with a 117. Is he doing a lap? He is doing a lap. Let's stick on board with this. Right, it is very loud. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you can. Snitsy has improved. He set a purple sector 1 in the process as well. He's going to take a nice line through there. Coming into the chicane, takes a nice line through there. Doesn't lose too much time. Doesn't open up the corner enough, in my opinion there. But again, this is another tricky corner. Keeps it within the track limits. He is 4/10 up. He's still improved. Didn't see the screens light up purple on that sector. We got a slow car moving at the final corner. Let's hope it doesn't interrupt Snitsy's lap as Snitsy comes up into the final corner now. Can't see what gear he's in. He's in 4th. Comes past the DRS line and across the line. It's not pole position, but it's good enough for P3. And we've still got 6 minutes left of qualifying, so he can get back around pit, put some new tyres on, and hope for the best. Let's stick on board with Mosh. Mosh is on a lap. What kind? He's down, so he's not on a lap. His lights are flashing. Where's CDM? We haven't seen much of CDM this session so far. Unsure of what the weather's gonna be next. CDM's going into the pits as soon as I watch him, of course. Snitch's ERS lights are still flashing, and Jason, the only one out on track. Is he doing a lap? We'll see as he comes up to the sector. He is currently very marginally up on his previous best time. Is he going to improve this lap? enough. It looks like a good line through the chicane. Opens up the corner decently enough. Now he's got the left and the right to go. Can he keep it within the limits? He can very nicely. And he's still, this is a very consistent lap. He's up the exact same amount of time as he was in sector 1. So this is a very consistent lap. Coming around the penultimate corner and then coming up to the final corner. He's going to look to get a good exit out of here. He opens his DRS now as he heads to the finish line with a 1:16.8. It's a 10th up. And that's good enough for P4 still. As we have... Not really sure what James Ney is doing there, but... I mean... I think he was just leaving the corner clear. Which if he was, then fair enough. Just gonna have a quick drink a second. As Flames Assassin sets a purple sex. Ignore that. Sets a purple sector 2. As he comes into the final corner. Is he gonna put it back on pole? Doesn't run wide. I thought he was a little bit then. And he does put it on pole. So 1:16.318. Does Kenna have an answer for that? The last time we seen these two on track. Oh, we got a hash around. Very easy to do there. The last time we seen these two on track, Flames and Kenna, there was an incident at Austria which gave Flames Assassin a 10-second time penalty, and that put him on pole. That put Kenna on the top step. We got James Ney 5/10 up. I don't think that's going to be enough to go pole. 5/10 up. And he's only started sector 1. I don't know, I think we were seeing something weird there. He is marginally up, but he invalidates coming through turn 6. I think that's turn 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically it's 6, yeah. Jen Sereno 4/10 up. I believe he's just starting his lap though. We got 2 minutes 20 left to qualifying. Who can put it on pole position? Can Flames keep it on pole? Flames currently sitting 10th in the Drivers' Championship with 47. No, that's CDM. 44 points, sorry. Team Red and CDM both on 44 points. As it stands from the last round, James Ney stays in first, Kenna stays second in the Drivers' Championship. Jen Sereno stays third, King James stays fourth. Jay Sen's moved up one position into fifth, Snitzy's dropped down to sixth. Hassel is no longer in the league. Hawkpie has stayed in 60. We haven't seen Hawkpie on track for quite a bit now. CDL moved up to P9. Flames Assassin moved down to P10. Team Red moved up to P11. And Vader moved down to P12. Marsh went up 2 positions last race. As Jen Sereno does cross the line and is good enough for P6. Still not on pole. But we've got Ken, who is out on pole, and I believe I just saw a purple sector somewhere then. And coming through the penultimate corner, wants to get a decent exit, so he's got enough speed to carry through into the final corner. It looks like it's going to be a good exit, and his ERS lights flashing. But he does put it on pole. Wow. His ERS light was flashing, so it must be marginal in terms of ERS, but he set a purple in every sector there. And there's very little time in it between these two. We were going to stick on board with Flames as he's coming up to the next couple of corners. We're going to see that ERS light come off this corner. And he will be going to try and beat that pole lap. There it is. His ERS light is off. And he's about to start that lap. Look at that water, the mirage effect. Showing that this track is extremely hot. Coming up to turn 1, you want to get the car turned in early to carry as much speed through that corner as possible. And then coming up to turn 3. Obviously that kink I think is classed as a turn as well. I'm not really sure, but I think it is. If not, that's turn 2. We're coming up to turn 5, 6. Very easy to invalidate. Almost lost the rear by the looks of it. The car looking a little bit unstable. But he is up and is improving. There's a great line through the chicane. Plenty of speed carried there through by Flames Assassin. Very close to invalidating there. So Flames Assassin right on the limit through this lap. Doesn't push it as much to the corner as he can. But he's a tenth and a half up. Almost 2 tenths. As he comes into the final couple of corners, he's got an Alpine, I think, in front of him. I don't think that Alpine's going to get in the way. That Alpine does cross the line now, though. That is CDM, which has left a gap. CDM gets out of the way nicely. I think it's CDM, it might not be. But Flames Assassin on pole for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So we got Flames Assassin P1, Kenna P2, James Ney P3, Sedem P4, Snitsy P5, Gensorino P6, CDM P7. Not the best qualifying session the CDM's had. Is CDM inbound for a driver of the day. So yeah, P7 was CDM, King James P8. Always grinding P10 and P11 is Mohamed Guna reserving for the Ferrari team tonight. Let's just find the Formula Companion app. Hungary. Right. That's ready for the broadcast formation lap. Obviously, we do have the broadcast formation lap on. We don't use the immersive anymore. Just takes up a little bit too much time. Right, okay. Just waiting for these drivers to select the strategies, starting tyres and fuel load, and we will be underway for the formation lap. Again, thank you guys in the chat for wishing me happy birthday. Don't forget, who's that little Jim guy? It's his birthday as well, so don't forget to leave that in the chat as well. But we are now underway for the formation lap.
It's going to be interesting today to see how the dry conditions could affect the lifespan of the tyres.
Thank you, Mr. Commentator. Let's have a look at the strategy. We've got Flames Assassin looking to create an early gap with us starting on the soft set of tyres. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a soft hard, I'm assuming.
As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
This is going to be a soft, medium hard? Not really sure. So we got the 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we will be underway straight away this time for once for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Flames Assassin, even though he's starting on the soft tyres, doesn't look like he's off to one of the best starts. He's already got Kenner up the inside into turn 1. They avoid contact, but Kenner is trying to get the lead very early. But Flames Assassin holds on at the minute, takes it very deep into turn 2. And Kenner gets the inside, now the outside line. And that's Flames Assassin keeps the lead just about at the start of this race. And now we got the rest of the field bunching up. We got Kenner. There's contact. Kenner just sends it into Flames. It's the reverse of what we've seen at Austria. Kenner has made contact with Flames, and they are both in P10 and P11. That was a good start from the rest of the drivers, but that's really affected their 2 races. That's put James Ney in the lead. He's already leading the championship, and he could extend his lead tonight. He's on the hard set tyres as well, so he's looking to make this opening stint long setting. But this means James Ney has almost got a second gap as well, so Sen's going to struggle to keep up with James Ney.
Well, that makes it interesting.
It does make it interesting. As, well, was there any damage between the two? I don't think there was damage, because neither of them have pitted. And I can't see any damage on Kenner's car. And I can't see any of the, on the Red Bull either, so. As we got always grinding, I thought was trying to make a move then on Mohammed Guna. We're looking back to the field, there's contact then as well between CDM and King James. These drivers can't stop touching each other tonight. As Snitsy gets himself a 3-second time penalty, so that's multiple track limit incursions already. Snitsy right on the back of Seddon. He's going to look to make the move as soon as possible, because he's going to pull this gap now, because he's got a 3-second time penalty. And 2 drivers have crashed. We haven't got any DNFs again. We should be having more drivers than we do, but Flames Assassin making a move on Mosh and gets it done nicely. I don't know if that was Mosh. Has Mosh got damage? Mosh does have damage. Mosh is missing his end plate on his wing. But now we got Snitsy right on the back of J7 as DRS does get enabled this lap. They won't have it on the main straight, but they will have it in the next DRS zone. Snitsy looking for the inside. He goes to try and make the move on the inside. Snitsy doesn't manage to make the move. He's still there though. He's got the outside line for the next corner. Does he brake later? He just can't make the move stick. Then just keeping in P2 nicely there. Just putting his Haas right where he needs to. This is going to help Jen Serino close the gap as well. So don't count Jen Serino out just yet, but Sen is definitely just keeping that car where he needs it to keep that Williams behind. This is also helping James Ney increase his lead. Mosh 24 seconds back. He has pitted for that new front wing. King James now getting past Flames Assassin as well. As we have Jen Serino right on the back of Snitsy. He's looking for the inside. He thinks better of it though. He's got a DRS zone coming up, so he doesn't really want to make the pass now. Even though if he did, he'd still have DRS from Sen instead of Snitsy. But Snitsy just falling back slightly. Can he catch up again with the DRS? It doesn't look like he's going to catch up. He did try to trick Sen though into thinking, you know what, I'm going to try and send it here, but obviously pull back in. He isn't going to do it there. But we got Kenner on the back of Always Grinding coming now into either turn 2 or turn 3. Someone tell me, because I'm confused. Is that King of Corner on this track, or is it not? I don't think it is. But Kenner wants to make as many positions as possible. having that first lap incident with Flames Assassin. He's not going to try it into the chicane, surely. Yeah, that's what I thought, but he is right on the gearbox, pushing that Alpine through the chicane. And he's going to want to make a move ASAP, really. CDM still in P5 after the contact with King James. King James suffering the worst from that. But we do have Kenna still trying to make the move on King James. Not King James, always Griden, sorry. So it's been a fascinating opening lap. Couple of opening laps here. 5 laps in of 35. 30 laps remain as we have Kenna looking to make a move. Is he going for the outside? No, he's not. He's going to stay behind. He is going for the outside. Kenna on the outside of Always Grinding. Can he make the move stick? Where are they? He can't. Oh, see, Always Grinding is trying to make the position on Mohammed Guna at the same time as well. This is an enthralling battle between the three for P6. CDM, this is helping CDM pull away from Mohammed Guna. This is really hurting Kenna's race, though. He wanted to be up at the front, and he was, until we had that contact between him and Flames Assassin. Let's have a look. Oh, CDM. It's not CDM. I keep getting confused because CDM's normally the one that gets a wiggle on, but it was his teammate Always Grinding this time. As Kenna is trying to force him into a mistake. Kenna runs very wide there. Well, looks like he almost went into the back. He just tried to outbrake himself. Lacking a little bit of patience, I think, Kenna here, as he's been trying to get past for a good couple of laps now. But we move back up to the action with Snitsy and Seddon. Snitsy, the inside, just breaking as much late as possible. He's lost it though. He went too slow around that corner and he's just lost it. Let's give CDM P4. And let's give Seddon a little bit of breathing room. He still has Jen Sereno behind though. Again, this battle for Mohammed Guna is now in the battle for P5. As we see a car in the background there, that is Always Grinding. I'm not really sure what happened there. I think he lost it on the curb. As we see King James just going around. That's unfortunate there. We have got time penalties as well now. Let's have a look at it. It's a 3-second one for Kenna, which means that is track limits. And we see Jen Sereno right on the back. Well, not right on the back. He's 4 tenths back from Seddon. So he could be looking for a chance to overtake on the straight. CDM making some great positions up from the start of the race. Not having the best qualifyings. Now sitting in P4. Obviously involved in a few incidents, which we might see reported later on. We got Seddon going right to the pit wall to try and break the toe. He comes back into just open the corner up enough for him to carry the best amount of speed through there, but Jen Sereno I think struggling to pass. I'm not really sure what his wing levels are, but we all know Hungary is notoriously difficult to overtake, and we're seeing that here now. James Nay has built a healthy 3-second lead though, as Snitsy goes and gets himself a time penalty as well. Always Grinding, pitting for a new wing. Not surprised after that collision with the barrier that he had. It's gone pretty quiet now though. I mean, these two, the only ones within a second of each other at the minute, apart from Kenna and Snitsy. As Kenna has just set a purple sector 2 as well, so Kenna did manage to get past Mohammed, and now he's got Snitsy to deal with as well. Snitsy just trying to catch up to CDM. He's not far away, but he's not within DRS. Kenna is though, so Kenna will have the DRS coming up to turn 1. As he sets the fastest lap, he's not going to be close enough to make a move into turn 1 though, but he is closing ever so slightly through the lap. And obviously being assisted on the straights if he is lacking the straight line speed. Being assisted with that DRS, which is giving him about 12 mile an hour extra. If I'm correct in saying that. Might not be, but who knows? Flames Assassin, though, still at the back of the field. Ken has managed to make some positions back up. But I'm going to say his rival, after the race they had at Austria, his rival, still down in P11. Obviously going in for the long run now. I don't think these hards will make it to the end. Ken gets a time penalty for the track limits. But Snitsy and Ken are battling again. I was going to keep on board with Genserino, but we're going to watch this battle now instead. Look at that, that Williams pushing the Haas through that corner. Kenna does make it past before the DRS zone, but Snitsy will have DRS. Is Kenna close enough for the DRS? He's not. Kenna goes over to defend. Is he going to come back and go on the racing line? He does. Snitsy goes for the inside into turn 1. Can he make it stick? Snitsy with a great attempt at an overtake. He's still behind though. Coming into the next corner. He's got the better line, but Kenna just parks his car nicely and stays ahead. Genserino has fallen back a bit from Seddon as well, so I don't know if there was a mistake there or if something else happened. But let's go back on board with Snitsy and Kenna as these two are fighting it out for position. This is slowing Kenna's progress down massively, but they're still closing to CDM, who's just sitting there in P4. I'm surprised his DRS light isn't flashing. It is low though. Classic really that is, isn't it, from CBM to have a low battery. What else is happening on track at the minute? Not much. Genserino said, and again the closest. As I say that, Kenna gets even closer to Snitsy. Looks like he's got a better line out the final corner. He will have the DRS. He doesn't have the ERS though. He's only got 8%, and I'm pretty sure, well, it's CDM, so he's not going to have much. Kenna looking to make a move for 4th position before this pit window opens. He's been on these mediums for 9 laps, and it's just a question of how much further will these mediums go. The tyre deg around this track is pretty bad. We've got a lot of high speed, well not high speed, medium speed corners with a lot of load going into them tyres. You're relying much more on mechanical grip more than downforce at this track, because it is very easy, it lacks a lot of grip. And Kenna now within the DRS, and a few corners before that DRS zone comes along. Trying to get as close as possible to that Alpine, and now he's very close, and it looks like he's certain to make the move with the DRS the next time around. CDM's battery is looking low. Is it enough to defend? Probably not, but Kenna is not using his battery either, as we can see there, but Kenna is going to look to the inside, thinks better of it, and pulls out of the move. He's going to try it again at some point. He has DRS again, but I don't think the straight's going to be long enough for him to catch. Nah, CDM just keeps P4 for another lap. Right, we're back. Sorry about that, just had to have a quick drink. Kenna, though, is currently still 5/10 back. He's a little bit further away this time. Kenna is up to the pit, so this is going to try and do the undercut. CDM not pitting yet. But James Nay also not pitting, so I don't know if this is a tactical move. Try and get off these tyres early. Because obviously, he's got to warm these tyres up as well. I'm so tired today, Jesus. Oh, Snitzy's around. Where was that? Snitzy spinning into turn 1 again. I wasn't expecting that. Let's stick with Genserino. Still the closest battle on track. These two been fighting it out. Sorry. Fighting it out lap after lap. Genserino struggling to get past the Haas of J Seddon. And at the minute, J Seddon's looking comfortable defending this position. James Nay's gap has increased to about 5 seconds. His 4.7 is the official gap, but we're going to round it up to 5 seconds because we can. Is James going to pit? James is not going to pit any of these two. Well, it's going to be Genserino if it is going to be any one of these two, but Genserino stays out, so that is definitely an early pit call for Kenna. And it hasn't put him too far back, to be honest. CDM now up to the pit as well. So the pit window is definitely open for some of these drivers. Mohamed Guna's gone up to 4th position, getting past CDM in the pit. Snitsy up to 5th, obviously, but Snitsy's going to have to pit again. So is Mohamed Guna. Flames Assassin, though, still currently in P11. So I think any penalty we give is going to mitigate the loss of time. If that's to say Kenna will get a penalty, we don't know who's at fault if the door was closed. But we can guess who is at the minute. As we see Snitsy trying to close the gap to Mohammed. He's got a 2-second gap. Let's get back on board. Not on board, but let's have a look at Genserino again. Still trying to close the gap to Sen. Sen just hanging in there. Mosh with 3-second time penalty. And again, I don't know if there's going to be any rain this race. I don't think it is. I think it's going to stay dry for the remainder of this race. As we come down to turn 1 once again, Genserino not being able to get close enough to make a move on Seddon, as Mohamed Guna has opted to pit now. He is going on the hard sets of tyres, so he is looking to do a 1-stop to the end, as Kenna goes and sets himself a fastest lap on them hard tyres, right on the back of CDM as well. So CDM obviously just about staying ahead on the doing that pit stop strategy. And again, it's going to halter Kenna's progress. So if James was going to pit, he's going to come out ahead of CDM. So I think, to be honest, it might be worth just pitting now. So CDM's 27 seconds behind. Kenna's 28. Kenna's his main race, to be honest, so he's going to want to pit soon. But if, because Kenna's going to start closing that gap shortly. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the racing at the minute, though, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like. The highlights for this race will be out over the weekend. If you don't want to stick around for the long race, you can watch it. A shorter version coming out soon, but Kenna getting past CDM nicely. CDM just can't keep that position, so that's Kenna is now on the hunt for Snitsy, unless CDM can hold him up even more, which I don't think he will be able to do, as he stays behind, as Mosh has retired. Where is that? that's in the pit lane, so that won't be a safety car. Sad to see Mosh DNF from this race, but at least he's done it in a safe manner that won't affect the race too much other than that yellow flag. But CDM and what's his name? Oh, James Ney is pitting as I just seen the car around. That's Snitsy again. Snitsy really struggling around Hungary, and he's just lost out a position to Kenna. I don't think he's going to lose one out to CDM. He just manages to stay in front after that spin, but CDM is going to be looking to make a move on the into turn 1 or even before. Snitsy has to pit though, don't forget he's been on these tyres for a while. As Marshall leaving the session, Jen Serino just coming out the pits. Is he going to come out in time? Obviously, Sen has the lead. Still got a pit later on at some point, though. But Jen Serino is now right behind Kenna. Kenna has joined the fight for the podium positions yet again. Whereas his rival still down in P10. Now that Mosh is retired with a 10-second gap to P9. So Flames Assassin having a very difficult race after that lap 1 collision. But that Haas is on fire. Kenna has been flying. Kenna doesn't even need to write his CV for Tier 1 at the minute. Looks like him and James Ney will be going there at the end of the season. But that battle for P3 at the minute is quite spicy. Obviously P5, P4, P3 are close in points, and we've still got a load of races to go as well. We're only on round 13 of 22, I think it is. I want to have a quick look at how many rounds there are, and hope I don't miss anything. Yeah, we got 22 rounds this season as Jen Serino goes right to the pit wall to defend, comes back over onto the racing line for a better line through the corner. Doesn't want to compromise his line too much to lose time out to Kenna, which he doesn't do. But CDM trying to make that move. Snitsy has now opted to pit, and that's given Mohammed P6. King James as well, having contact with CDM again on lap 1. Not having the best of races. It's been pretty quiet for King James. He hasn't really had to fight too much because he hasn't been able to. But this fight for P3 is definitely hotting up. There's a 3-car battle at the minute. Can they close up to James Ney while battling? Obviously, Kenna has got his teammate in first place, but his teammate's still got a pit, so we can't forget about that. And I think when he pits, it's going to put him in P5. So still a hefty amount of points for Haas, even when Sen pits. Because we don't know where Ken's going to finish yet. Obviously, we've got Jen Serino going right over to the right to defend again. And Kenna is looking to make a move. Nah, he sticks behind for another lap. Jen Serino manages to hold off Kenna. And I think at this point, CDM has just got to stick behind him and save his battery, because I think CDM's going to need his battery in the latter stages of this race. Halfway through lap 18 of 35, so not too long to go. The weather is starting to look a little bit grim, but I still don't think we're going to see any rain. There's still blue skies, so that would excuse any possibility of rain, I suppose. But who knows? There could still be rain as we head back round to the final couple of corners. Kenna still behind Jen Serino. A lot closer though. Can he just optimize his exit through the final corner to keep himself close enough to Jen Serino to make a move? Obviously Jen Serino not going to be able to have the luxury of DRS which Kenna does as we head down to turn 1. I don't think he's going to be close enough again to make a move. CDM just lacking in pace as well, not getting close enough to Kenna. So these lot are practically stuck in a DRS train. It's a 3-car DRS train, which Genserino is currently leading. As Snitsy goes and gets himself the fastest lap of the race within 1 second of King James. He's going to have a task of getting past, though, as we're watching the 3-car battle for third. It's very difficult to do, as CDM has dropped out of a second of the two, which he's not going to want. He's going to want to close that gap, which he has. Can he keep it closed? That is another question. Let's have a look at the where are we? Championship. So at the minute, as things stands, Kenna right behind the Alfa Romeo now. Does he have the battery to keep ahead? They're all burning it, apart from Genserino, the only one not to use his battery on that straight. He still keeps P3, so this is a true classic F1 DRS train. So I think Genserino is just lacking in the downforce for the corners, as Kenna gets to close up nicely in the corners, but he can't get him on the straight. So I think Genserino's just lacking that drag that Kenna and CDM SAP is providing to them for the corners, because that is what's keeping him ahead at the minute, and it's doing a good job. And obviously Kenna needs to get past and pull a gap if he wants that podium. He does have that time penalty, and we also don't know what kind of penalties are going to come Kenna and Flames Assassin's way, because we don't know who's at fault. Obviously Kenna, the overtaking car, is probably the one at fault for that incident. We don't know really. Like I said earlier, we could just assume. But Genserino again doing the same thing, heading straight over to the pit wall to break the toe. Kenna opting not to follow him. Probably best just keep the engine cool, keep your tyres cooler a little bit for the next corner. I think that's why Kenna's opting not to follow him in the and get the slipstream. But that slipstream would help Kenna massively in getting past him. And that's another 3 seconds, that's 6 seconds now. Or is it 9 seconds? It's 9 seconds of time penalties for Kenna. So CDM's loving this. This is going to put him up to if he finishes like this now, that's going to put him up to P4. But he wants to get past, because at the minute Mohamed Guna is the one heading for driver of the day with 5 positions gained. So he obviously started last. As Snitsy gets himself another time penalty, I think that's quite a few for Snitsy now, isn't it? 12 seconds for Snitsy. That's a lot. Wow. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Tyre situations, that's what we want. I've got CDM still not close enough to Kenna. Kenna still not close enough to Genserino. It is getting a little more hazier as this race goes on. We could see a bit of rain. Obviously we haven't got Neil Mazda to tell me what the rain, what the forecast is for this race, as he normally does. Hope everything's okay at home, Neil. As we got CDM looking to make a move, he's going to stick behind though. As we see King James and Snitsy swap positions further down the field. Don't think that was another spit. Oh, look at that glitch. Look at that grass glitching in the background. Beautiful game. Beautiful. But these two still fighting. Kenna has actually dropped out of a second. I've only just noticed. So this could leave Kenna vulnerable to CDM. Only time will tell if CDM can actually get past into the next DRS. So, but Jason has and is finally making his pit stop. I don't know if he's going to go on the mediums or if he's going to opt for the soft set of tyres, but that gives James Ney back the lead. And it looks like this is James Ney's race to lose at the minute. Sen is opting for the medium tyres. Obviously, soft's probably not going to go to the end from here, but that gives Genserino P2. Can CDM and Kenna get ahead of Seddon? There's a little bit of contact between CDM and Kenna. And it looks like Kenna's going for the switch back, but doesn't make it stick. Now CDM's got another Haas in the way, and as I'm clicking the red button and clicking the red button, you know what I mean. But CDM just managing to get past Jason on them cold tyres. Is he going to slow Kenna down, or is he going to let his teammate by? Because Seddon still needs to warm them tyres up. But CDM currently sitting on the podium with Seddon. He needs to pull a gap on Seddon though, because Seddon does not have any penalties, and this could be a J7 penalty. Kenna is not looking likely to sit on the podium with these time penalties, as we got King James spun before. I don't know if he got too much curb there, so it's a possibility. But CDM needs to catch up to Genserino if he wants to sit higher up on this podium. Still got to pull a gap as well, so he wants to get in the DRS. Sen will have DRS as we come onto the main straight. So what's going to be the cause? Is Seddon going to be able to make a move into turn 1? I don't think he's looking to make the move though. Late on the brakes, Seddon, as he comes into turn 1, he gets pushed a little bit wide. He's not off the track this time as he did by the track fireman, but CDM just manages to keep P1 as they come into the next corner. But CDM braking well late, taking it a little bit wide. That could keep his Alpine in P3. It does for now. And that's going to keep these two fighting for another lap. CDM really needs to pull this gap now. These two fighting is not going to help CDM's cause, but obviously Seddon is going to love it. And James Ney currently with a 7-second gap. Like I said, this race is effectively his. He's just going to keep a cool head and just bring the car home. These two fighting out lap after lap though, providing a good watch for anyone watching still, and especially for the highlights. These battles are going to be great. But Sen is keeping that gap closed, and Sen's got a great run as we come to the exit. There's a little bit of contact, and that's lost Sen a lot of time. Sen's not going to like that. But Sen still close enough. He's choosing the outside line into turn 1. Leaves the room for CDM, and the Alpine is around. CDM's going to lose a load of positions there. That is unfortunate. Now that's going to bring Kenna back up to P4. So it is, and James Ney gets himself a time penalty. He's got to keep a cool head, I said. You're leading the race. You don't need this time penalty. You just got to take it easy, man. But we will stick on board with James Ney as he is the... Oh no, Seddon's back within a second at Genserino. So this battle for P2 is about to start up. Obviously, Kenna right behind. Kenna really going above track and beyond track limits there. So again, if you guys are liking this, just leave a like. It helps out. And subscribe. You know it's free, so it's not going to affect you. But Kenna is watching his teammate go for the inside of the penultimate corner. Doesn't manage to make it work, but he is going to have a great run out of the final corner. Almost goes beyond track limits, trying to stick in the toe of Genserino. He's going to pull to the outside for the outside line into turn 1. He avoids contact nicely. He runs a little bit wide, and that's kept Genserino in P2 for now. He will have DRS, and he's going to have the inside line for the next corner, but just sticks behind. It's not worth trying to make a move. He's thinking he hasn't got the penalty, where neither does Genserino. So these two are battling it out without penalty free as well. So But Seddon's thinking there's plenty of laps to make the move. Why make it now? Kenner obviously trying to get back into the groove of things, as he is currently in P4 with about 12 seconds of penalties. The CDM goes and gets another 3-second time penalty. I believe that's 6 for CDM now. It is. Ken had 9 seconds, not 12. Sorry, it was Snitsy with 12. Flames Assassin pretty much having a lonely race, as we see Mohamed Guna and CDM battling for P5. There's a little bit of contact. That's Mohamed Guna off the track. I don't know why anyone would try and make a move into that chicane. It's too narrow, especially with these cars and how wide they are, to try and make a move there. But CDM keeps P5 for now, as we got Jason again following Genserino in the tow, as he's going for the outside line yet again. He seems to like this outside line when he's trying to overtake someone. Has he got the grip? We can't see them, but now he can, and he has got past, but they're coming into the next corner. And Jason did have the better line to into the next corner, and that is Jason up to P2. That's Snitsy. CDM is opting to pit again. Has he got wing damage from that little contact with Mohamed Guna? I'm not sure. Or is he trying to go for the fastest lap? Obviously, he's talking to his teammate, always grinding, who he's going to come out behind. I didn't see if that was a wing change. It was a pretty long pit stop, but he is going for the soft tyres, which is going to allow him to attempt to get that extra 1 point from the fastest lap. As we go back onto the battle for the podium, Genserino sitting happy in P8. Snitsy, Mohamed Guna has stopped on track. I don't know if that was a spin or what, but he did stop on track for a bit. But when do you see this? A Haas P3, P4, and an Alfa Romeo sitting on the last step of the podium. Again, goes out to the wall to break the toe. Kenner opting to stay to the other side of the track to keep his engine and tyres a little bit cooler than following. Obviously staying away from that dirty air. But Seddon has got a 1 second gap now to Genserino. So it's his teammate turn now to make the move on that Alfa Romeo. Only a few laps remaining. The clouds are disappearing now, so we will not see rain this race, which would have spiced things up massively, to be honest, but might be a good thing that we're not seeing rain. And Haas look like they would extend their championship lead in the constructors. James Nade to extend that 207 point lead. Obviously, he's got a 50 point lead at the minute, James Nade, and he's about to extend that by 25 points. Kenner down in 4th, who is 2nd in the driver's standings, currently sitting in 4th. And if Genserino takes 2nd place off Seddon, which I don't think he'll be able to do, Genserino will still sit in 3rd position. So Kenner is safe from P2 at the minute, but Seddon, I think Seddon's gonna move up again after this race if he can keep that 2nd step at the podium. I think he's slowly closing the gap on James Ney, but I don't think it's going to be enough to actually make the move at the end of this race. Obviously 6 seconds and only 6 laps. As we have a yellow flag in sector 1. I think that's just a slow moving car. I think Mohammed lost the rear end. That's what I'm going to assume it is. CDM does get that fastest lap. Obviously sitting in P9, he's going to have 3 points to his name at the end of this race, unless his teammate lets him by. But again, why would his teammate want to do that? His teammate's sitting down in 16th currently in the Drivers' Championship, so his teammate's going to want to get more points. And points tonight will move him above Mosh. And I think it'll take another race if he stays in P8, if he can't close that gap to King James. But look at this, Kenner really close to Genserino now, but still not close enough to make a move into turn 1. Genserino running a little bit deep, though. That's going to affect the rest of his lap, as Ken's going to be able to stay a little bit closer. Can Kenna stay close enough to make the move into turn 1 again, or is he going to do it at some point in this lap after the chicane? Is probably after the chicane is the best possible chance to make a move. Again, very difficult around this track, we know, but it's not impossible, as we've got King James as well, 7/10 behind Mohamed Gunnar in P6. So he's looking to make a move on Mohamed Gunnar at some point as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Kenna runs very wide in this battle with Genserino as we come to the last couple of corners of the lap. CDM in the pits again. Why is he pitting again? But let's give Flames Assassin 2 points. CDM's just basically lost a point doing that. He's going to get 2 points for that fastest lap if he keeps it. But pitting there was not really the optimum option. He's now 14 seconds behind. Kenna still not close enough to make a move on Genserino. He's looking to the outside as Snitsy has spun it again. Snitsy having a very poor race, and I feel like I'm about to do the same in Tier 1. Let's have a look at the penalty situation. CDM was 6 seconds. What's the fastest? Yeah, CDM still has the fastest lap, so I'm not sure why he's opted to pit again. Maybe he's a bit scared, thinking someone's going to take that fastest lap off him, as we got King James not close enough to make a move on Mohamed Gunnar into turn 1. Keep an eye on that battle, because he is now within 3/10. It was 7/10 a couple of laps ago. Mohamed Gunnar though with 29 seconds to close. It's not going to be easily done in 4 laps. It's going to be pretty impossible, to be honest, as Snitsy is out of the race. Is that going to cause a safety car? That is a safety car. We have a safety car, and that's going to bunch the field up. That's really going to help. It's going to be a sprint to the end. James Nate, really unfortunate to be past the pit lane before that safety car came out. Same as Sen. The cars behind are going to pit for softs. Genserino, Kenna, both in for softs. Mohamed Gunnar probably going to join them. King James always grinding. Flames Assassin, CDM had previously pitted for softs, so he doesn't need to pit really. But knowing CDM, he is probably... Oh, CDM's actually trapped behind the safety car in the way. This race has just spiced up. And are we going to see Genserino? See. Obviously, because these guys have got to stick to Delta. Well, no, let's catch the safety car now, because James Nay's right behind that safety car. Is the gap going to be big enough? Look at that gap coming down. So these guys up in front can't pit. Otherwise they're going to lose track position, and track position is vital around Hungary. But if James just keeps his... And he's got that 3-second time penalty as well, James. And I don't think we're going to have DRS for the rest of the race. It takes 3 laps to be enabled again, right? We might have it for the final lap if the safety car comes in this lap, which it isn't. Is it? Yeah, the lights are still on, so the safety car isn't coming in this lap. We're not going to have DRS for the rest of the race. And look at that Alpine just... I don't understand why he's so close. It's CDM, right? Yeah, it's just... Kenna has retired from the race in the pit lane. Unsure why Kenna would pit and retire when vital points were up for grab for Kenna. I think he might still get points, as he will drop down to P10, P9. And he's done most of the race, so I think he still gets points, but he's going to get 1 point, which means he'll be on 158, and Genserino is on the podium. He's gonna have his it's gonna be a battle for P2 instead of P3 if Genserino can keep his position or even improve, because he is on the soft, so Genserino could technically go on to win this, because look at the gap. Obviously CDM is in the way, he is going to be blue flag, so he is going to have to move out the way of the faster cars, but James Nate on 17 lap old hards, it's going to be a 2-lap sprint at the end of this race. What is CDM doing? Unsure to what CDM is trying to do. He's trying to overtake behind the safety car, which isn't allowed. Even if he is a lap car, this game doesn't allow lap cars to overtake. And he is trying to do the Verstappen rule, which is now illegal. So CDM is obviously on the soft tyres. He's going to want to make a move into turn 1. It'll be interesting to see if anybody reports, because we do follow real F1 rules as well as some of our own. But that is James Nate. He is away, and the lapped car is not moving out of the way. Some position. Genserino is down to P4. What happened to that restart? Mohamed Gunnar up to P3. Always grinding up to P5. He's lost a position now to Genserino, who's back up to P4. I'm not really sure. I was caught sleeping in that safety car. CDM is past James Ney. CDM needs to hope he doesn't get blue flagged and penalised for it. Obviously, he is faster than James Ney, so he can overtake as long as he is fast enough. J7 right on the back of James Ney. What's the penalty situation? All 3 podium sitters currently do have penalties. As Snitsky has left the session, let's have a look at the penalty situation. They all have 3 seconds, so they just got to overtake to get the lead, really, and win. And this is going to be interesting. We've got hard versus medium versus soft tyres. Mohammed on the soft, Genserino as well. If he can stay within 3 seconds, he's going to still be on the podium. So let's keep an eye on that, and let's see what happens. But at the minute, the safety car spiced up. We are on the final lap as we come around the rest of the track. I'm gonna make sure the interval is on the leader, because there is a 3-second. Genserino just needs to be within 3 seconds. There's a car around. Is that CDM? That is CDM. Trying to unlap himself with a little bit of time is pointless, really. CDM will finish a lap down, but the eyes are all on Genserino, as he could take a win. Has he won this season? Genserino has not won a race this season, and he just needs to stay within 3 seconds to win the race, as James Ney has pulled an 8/10 gap. It's not enough. Genserino pulls very deep. Mohamed Gunnar, all 3 obviously sitting on the podiums. James Ney is about to cross the line, but it's not to win at Hungary, because Genserino crosses the line within 3 seconds. Genserino wins at Hungary. James Ney comes home in P2. J7 gets the final podium position with P3. What an exciting ending to what's been a fantastic race. There's going to be some incidents obviously to look at, but Genserino is the talk of the race. He's just won himself his first OBF1 Tier 2 Season 5 race. He's been close a couple of times. He's had 3 2-second places. Not 2 second, 2 second places. He's had 3 second places. He's had a couple of third places as well. But he has just won his first race. And that's congratulations there to Genserino for that. An incredible drive. And he has just won himself the race. I'll have to do that after. What a great race, though. Look at all them time penalties that really affected the race. But Genserino has already run that race. So that is it from us at Tier 2. You can join us, well, you can join David Benson commentary for Tier 1, which will start in about 15 minutes. Invites will be out in 1 minute. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week at the next race, which, if you guys are interested in, will be Belgium. Spa-Francorchamps.